Main Street was originally an Indian trail leading from present-day Warren down to the end of the Bristol Peninsula. It later became one of the first streets of Brooks pasture. Later, Main Street was called a turnpike and had a toll that was collected near St. Mary's Church. George Hale Library was built in 1889. The architecture firm that designed the library, William Walker & Son, also designed Town Hall. This building has many rounded arches. Rounded arches are sometimes called Roman arches because the ancient Romans are credited with inventing the arch. Before arches, buildings were made with post and lintel construction. The most important piece in the arch is the keystone at the top of the arch. It keeps the arch from collapsing. Money to build the library was given by the wife of George Hale and other citizens whose names are on the plaques near the library door. The Warren Town Hall was built in 1890. Note the beautiful plaque above the door with sowams and an Indian silhouette. The tower used to be taller but was damaged during the 1938 hurricane and rebuilt to its current size. The architectural features are the arch above the door, the fan lights over the windows, the tall tower with the cupola at the top. "421 Main Street, the Baker DeWolf House, built in 1753. It features brackets and Italianate-style windows. It is said that during the Revolution, this house was saved from burning when the Baptist church next door was on fire because the owner covered the roof with wet blankets and sheets. Baker Street at the corner started off as an informal path or way, but was eventually given to the town of Warren in 1798. A later resident of this house was in charge of ringing the bell of the Baptist church to sound the alarm when there was a fire in town. The Baptist church was built in 1844. One of the architectural features is the pointed arches. This is the third church built on this site. This building was designed by Russell Warren. The church that stood here in 1778 was burned by the British when they raided Warren. A second church was built in 1784, but the congregation outgrew it, so the present one was built. The College of the Colony of Rhode Island, which later became Brown University, was founded by the minister of this church, and the first commencement exercises were held here in 1769. The bell in the tower was recast from a bell made by Paul Revere. The Bank of America building was built in 1906. Some of the architectural features are post and lintel construction, the Corinthian columns, the pediment above the columns, a balustrade across the top, arch windows with keystones, pilasters, and the use of marble. The bank was built at the same time as Colt School in Bristol. Both buildings have ties to Samuel Colt of Bristol. Pascal Allen's store, built in 1809 on Main Street, was a general store that offered goods fresh from Liverpool and London. The second floor was the library and reading room before the George Hale Library was built. The Lyric Theater was built in 1914. This building was originally a theater that hosted vaudeville acts, silent pictures, and eventually movies. Many small towns had local theaters in the days before cars, and even after cars were introduced. The theater eventually closed, and the building has housed several businesses since. Notice the use of pilasters above pilasters on the facade. The lighter, Ionic, over the stouter, Doric. The Dow Star House at 362 Main Street was built in 1855. The architectural features are the functional coins, the pointed arches, and the steep roof.